Bastion Market Daily Live Forex Market Outlook by Trader Plato. Introduction. The purpose of the market outlook is for us all to have an elite mastery of the forex market to an advanced level. The forex market is a decentralized market that runs 24/7 from Mondays to Fridays. It has a market capitalization of approximately $8 trillion daily. Dominant and non-dominant market participants. At the top and in the middle of the hierarchy, we have the dominant market participants. That is the central banks and the large financial institutions. At the bottom, we have the non-dominant market participants. Those are the retail traders. In a nutshell, the dominant market participants make up of 95% of the market participants, while the remaining 5% are the non-dominant market participants. Those are the retail traders. This is according to research and data from the Bank of International Settlement, the Bank for Central Banks. Market mechanics. Market mechanics is a unique hybrid trading strategy that utilizes technical and fundamental constants to generate accurate trading signals. Power of 3, AMD chronological order. On Fridays, we have the accumulation phase. On Mondays, we have the manipulation phase. On Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, we have the distribution phase. Therefore, we do not trade on Fridays and Mondays, as these are the accumulation and manipulation phase of the market. Power of 3, AMD chronological order. The Asian session is the accumulation phase, the London session is the manipulation phase, and the New York session is the distribution phase. So we do not trade the Asian session, as this is the accumulation phase, but we are allowed to trade the London session since it sometimes overlaps with the New York session. Power of 3, candlestick pattern order. Unique candlestick reveal mass psychology that symbolizes the power of 3, the accumulation, manipulation, and distribution. Below are the images of the candlestick showcasing the mass psychology and movement of the market. We have the bullish and the bearish candlestick patterns. Liquidity and trap zones. All the market concerns about is liquidity and nothing else. Liquidity is basically points in the chart where majority of orders are pending to be filled. Thus, liquidity is the energy of the market. Without liquidity, the market will not move. These zones are as follows: yearly high and low, monthly high and low, weekly high and low, daily high and low, swing high and low.
Welcome to the chart. To begin with, let us focus on this black cursor, as this will serve as the hands of our tutor while we are learning. Let us take less than a minute to explain candlesticks. As you can see, price consolidating within the range here and creating clusters of white candles. These white candles signify selling pressure. As you can see, price creating series of lower highs and higher highs, creating clusters of green candles. These green candles signifies buying pressure. Meanwhile, a candle that is neither white nor green, like this candle, it signifies indecision in the market. As we are aware of, in the market mechanics, we look out for liquidity and trap zones, as these zones are the most sensitive zones on a price chart and they offer the best opportunities in price. So let us keep two concepts in mind. The first concept is the liquidity zones, which are the highs and lows, swing highs and lows, daily highs and lows, yearly highs and lows, monthly highs and lows, and so on. However, for the daily market outlook, we are only going to be focusing on the daily highs and lows. So now on Euro USD, as in the opening of the Asian session, we can see the buyers attempting to gain dominance. However, they failed to break the high of yesterday. And the second half of the Asian session, we can see the buyers pushing price higher. Following from this, we need to focus on the second concept, which is the market buys to sell and the market sells to buy. Now, Why does the market buy to sell or sell to buy? The market does this because forex trading is a zero-sum game. For buyers to make money, they have to take money from sellers. Likewise, for sellers to take money, they have to take money from buyers. So now we can see an accumulation of buyers here. So we expect a manipulation that manipulates more buyers, and then a distribution to the downside for the sellers to gain full dominance and break this structure lower. So we can conclude that the euro will weaken against the US dollar. On USD CNH, at the opening of the Asian session, you can see buyers attempting to gain dominance and they break the high of yesterday. However, a classic accumulation and manipulation pattern plays out, and we can see the sellers manipulating more buyers and breaking price down, stopping out the buyers at the opening of the Asian session. Following from this, we expect a break of this structure further down for price to break down and for the US dollar to weaken against the CNH. On USD card, at the opening of the Asian session, we can see the sellers attempting to gain dominance, however they failed to break the low of yesterday. And the second half, we can see the sellers showcasing more dominance and breaking the low of yesterday, pushing price lower. Following from this, we expect a sell to buy, as this is an accumulation. So we expect a manipulation of more sellers and a distribution to the upside. Mind you, in between this red box is the Asian range. So on gold, at the opening of the Asian session, we can see the buyers attempting to gain dominance. However, they failed to break the high of yesterday. And the second half, buyers push price further up, breaking the high of the first half of the Asian session. Following from this, we expect a buy to sell, as this is an accumulation of buyers. So we expect sellers to manipulate more buyers to the upside, then sell this market further down to break the structure further down, breaking the low of yesterday, and for gold to continue the downtrend. On silver, at the opening of the Asian session, we can see sellers attempting to gain dominance, however they failed to break the low of yesterday. And the second half, we can see buyers manipulating more sellers to the downside and pushing price higher, breaking the high of the day. Following from this, this is more of a sell to buy. However, to confirm this as a sell to buy, we expect a further break of this structure up, breaking the high of yesterday, to conclude that silver will sell further up. However, a classic AMD plays out here. On GG, at the opening of the Asian session, we can see buyers attempting to take gain dominance, however they failed to break the high of yesterday. And the second half, you can see buyers bringing the structure further up. Following from this, we're expecting a price to sell. So we expect sellers to manipulate more buyers to the upside and create a sell candle that breaks the structure further down. Mind you, the sell candle mustn't be more than one or two candles, and it has a pattern and a way it forms, it has already been shown in the earlier presentation. On DXY, at the opening of the Asian session, you can see the sellers showcasing their dominance, however they failed to break the low of yesterday. And the second half, you can see sellers maintaining dominance. Following from this, we expect a sell to buy. The market mechanics is a counter trend strategy. In forex trading, the trend is your best friend, but the beginning of the trend is in forex trading, the trend is your friend, but the beginning of the trend is your best friend. So market mechanics allows for a trader to catch the beginning of a trend. Following from this, we expect a manipulation of more sellers, then a distribution to the upside. On GBP USD, at the opening of the Asia session, we can see the buyers optimistic, attempting to gain dominance. However, they failed to break the high of yesterday. And the second half, you can see more optimism and buyers pushing price further up. However, the sellers will attempt to create fear, although before that they will manipulate more buyers to the upside, then push this price further down to break this structure further down, so we can conclude that the GBP will weaken against the US dollar. On BTC USD, at the opening of the Asian session, you can see the buyers optimistic, attempting to push price up. However, they failed to break the high of yesterday, and the second half, you can see the buyers maintaining more optimism. However, they still failed to break the high of yesterday. Following from this, we expect a buy to sell. So we expect the sellers to create fear. However, before that, they will manipulate more buyers to the upside, then break the structure further down. On NDZD USD, at the opening of the Asian session, you can see sellers, you can see buyers maintaining dominance, attempting to push price up. However, they failed to break the high of yesterday. And the second half, you can see buyers pushing price further up, still failing to break the high of yesterday. Following from this, we expect a buy to sell. So we expect the sellers to manipulate more buyers to the upside and create fear and push this price further down to break the low of yesterday, for us to conclude that the NZD will weaken against the US dollar. Manage your trade, plan your trade, trade your plan, manage your trade, manage your emotions, and have success all the way. I wish you a profitable week ahead. Please, if you find these materials useful, subscribe, like, share, and follow for more.